Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and the conclusion of my little AT Mine Smoke Grenade mini-series. In the first two parts we used Joker and Bane, and after those two there's really only one act that can follow.
Yeah. I'm Batman.
Don't worry guys, I'm not going to let you down in the opening clip, just give it a sec. There we go, perfect. So just for the benefit of anybody who didn't see part 1 or 2, this little mini-series is dedicated exclusively to the use of AT mines paired with smoke grenades to hunt vehicles. And in part 1 I'd like to share with you my favourite ambush kills, or baitings, where I put the AT mines down quite far in front, use the smoke to conceal them, and then bait my opponents to drive over them. Landing these kills always makes me feel great.
They control all of Brawlers.
I'm Batman.
Now having watched that, and before we move on for the benefit of any new players, let me just explain something really quickly. I play as lead, so in addition to having AT mines, smoke grenades and the missile launcher as discussed, she also has the Armor Hunter perk, which allows me to see armor vehicles even when I don't have line of sight, either because there's a cloud of smoke in the way or some other obstacle. The Armor Hunter perk is activated by pulling out your missile launcher, so when you see me hiding behind a rock or a wall and flipping weapon, that's why I'm doing it. I'm trying to see where the tank is. Part 2 is all about spawn campers. Now personally, while it's not cheating, it's in the game, it's allowed, I consider spawn camping to be a massive no-no. And I will immediately do, to the best of my abilities, everything I can to take them out.
What'll happen to him?
Justice. Crime cannot be tolerated. Criminals thrive on the indulgence of society's understanding.
Don't be understanding. Remember our friend Ghost, we're going to be seeing him again throughout the video. But spawn campers are special people, really. If there was one group of people in the game that could unify us in a common purpose, it's the spawn campers. It's not just about killing them. It's more than that.
It's about sending a message.
You have my permission to die.
In part 3 I want to focus on something I can't believe I didn't know until very recently, and that's you can jump throw AT mines to get some additional range on them.
Count to 5, then throw.
We'll look at some good examples when we get to the section, but something to be clear on up front. Even when you throw an AT mine rules still apply, and the AT mine will only detonate if the vehicle is moving. So keep that in mind. But if the vehicle moves so much as an inch, it's going to go off in your face.
That wasn't exactly what I had in mind when I said I wanted to inspire people.
But in absolute seriousness, I only know this because you guys kindly left me messages, particularly after the second video, telling me I could do it. You've made me a much better player. I hope I've made you proud, and I just want to pass on the knowledge to anyone who didn't know. It's brilliant. Lissile, tap, and throw. Come on now, chap, no running away. Lovely. In the next section I just want to share some parachute kills because they're an incredibly useful part of the game when you're using AT mines. You can leap out of aircraft or off of buildings to take out armor that's otherwise hard to reach. And I just want to share with you up front this funny kill where a glitch actually ended up pushing me to safety back up in the air. I had no business surviving this.
How are you still breathing right now? Never mind. I already know what you're gonna say.
Because I'm Batman.
At the very end, I just want to share with you some of my favorite fails. There are a lot of deaths behind all the successes. I just want to be honest about it. But otherwise, that's a wrap. Really hope you enjoyed this, guys. I've done my best to be entertaining and informative. Let's get into it. Okay, so here are my favorite ambush kills since last I saw you. Now, just for context on this one, I knew where the Tor tank was because he just shot me down, and I'm back for my revenge. Nearly lost my face there, but we're in. Right, this is where I'm going to make my stand. So the idea is a simple one. You put your AT mines out in a line across the road like that. Don't put them out any farther, otherwise they may not detonate together. Then you fire your missiles over the top to harass the tank and bait them to drive towards you. You want them to feel like rushing you down is the right play.
Theatricality and deception are powerful agents.
I'm popping my head up to let them see that I'm still here, and hopefully it'll be enough to encourage them. That's for shooting me down earlier. This gorge is a fantastic place to lay traps. Now on this next one I was trying to catch out the ram here, but it doesn't go right. I've clearly put the mines in the wrong place and I have to improvise. Missed the tank as well. Right, the only chance here is splash damage. Here we go. I'm actually very happy with how that one turned out. Right, okay, this one actually starts from a failure. I tried to parachute in and kill a Tor on a Wildcat, but I got sniped. But I did manage to get one AT-mine down, which is directly in front of the Wildcat, so I've got a plan. I'm pretty sure they didn't see the AT-mine drop, so the plan is to poke the Wildcat and hope they'll rush towards me. 50-50 if they do. Alright, one down. If we can just convince the Tor to run at us, we have the perfect trap point right here in the doorway. No way they'll be able to get in without tripping the mines. Again, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty happy with how I managed to redeem myself on that one. Anyway, there are so many choke points in this game like at C1 in Stranded, and you'll see them in the other videos I did. Always someone passing through. It really is dynamiting fish in the barrel, so go to town guys, have fun. That's what the mines are for. Okay, Section 2 spawn campers, and I want to tell you the story of two particular players I met, but I'll get to that in just a moment. Serious talk for a second. A spawn camper, particularly on the smaller maps, can block off a lot of the airspace around objectives and make it very difficult to win. So play the role that your team needs you to play, even if it feels like you're alone. Be the hero they deserve.
I killed those people. I'm whatever Gotham needs me to be.
People might not see it, and it may not show up in the scoreboard, but it makes a massive difference to winning the round. To any new players who might be watching, I really encourage you to be selfless, and if you see these opportunities to take out a camper, do it. But let's move on to one of my favourite campers, and the story started familiarly enough. Obviously, that's not going unanswered.
Tell me, do you bleed? You will.
But when I get there, I see something I've never seen before. These two have bunkered themselves down inside a structure out of bounds, so we can't even get them from the air. And they only briefly pop out. You see him there, just sticking his head out to take a shot, and then he rolls back inside. Anyway, in gaming as in life, you've got to stick to your principles, otherwise you're just as bad as the thing you're complaining about, so time to die.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Absolutely worth it. Now, to tell the story of my next favourite camper, you all know about Irish's APS, and they can block all of the Apache missiles, bombs, etc. And if there are 2 or more Irishes running around on a tank crew, you cannot shoot down the APSs quickly enough to be able to get a shot on the tank. So when you have a camper that's hiding behind 2 or more APSs like this fellow here, the only option you really have is to run up close and get personal, and kick him right in the face. So this brings me back to that gamer we saw in the intro. Round after round, they were using APS and a railgun to just rack up the kills. The only way to get to him is a heroically long parachute jump, so here we go. Now, I have 2 rules on this channel. I don't swear because my son watches, and I don't rip on people because that's not nice. But that doesn't mean I can't call out behavior I don't like. And I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed this. They deserved it.
I'm vengeance.
Just quickly to close out this section, it would be wrong of me not to point out we now have a new weapon against backliners and spawn campers. The Pond Hawk. Absolutely brilliant for sneaking behind them.
Sector Bravo has been lost to the hostiles.
Just a reminder, Batman does actually use his own Pond Hawk against a railgun in the movie, so I'm on point with this. But anyway, I think we're at the end of the spawn camper section. To any gamer who, like me, takes these people on, you have my sincere thanks.
I never said thank you.
And you'll never have to.
Okay, cool, we're on to throwing AT mines, which is something I've only recently learned to do, and I'm going to park the jokes for a second because this is actually ridiculously important. A Lissile tap, followed up with an AT mine throw, can pull down most vehicles.
They've captured Bravo sector.
The two things that impressed me are 1, the sheer speed with which you can pull a vehicle down, and 2, the distance from which you can get them.
Foxtrot sector is now secure.
I mean, now I think about it, I guess it's kind of like an exploding batarang, but I don't know, maybe I'm reaching, whatever, move on. What's more important than what I'm about to say, I never thought I was going to say. I think these are actually better than C5. I mean, on this next kill, not only look at the range from which I'm able to get the kill, but also the speed. I didn't have to hang around planting and then detonating. It's absolutely brutal. You can flip situations where you'd otherwise be pinned down.
One is not secure. You're monitoring the progress.
This is particularly useful against fast-moving vehicles like rams where you don't have long to get them.
Now control sector Bravo. Hostiles in
I'll just show you one more clean example where you use a Lissile to do a little bit of tap damage against the tank, pop down the smoke to cover yourself, and then run it with the AT mine for a throw and a quick finish. It's absolutely beautiful, and I don't know any other specialist that can do this. It really, for me, put Lee's as #1, not just in terms of anti-air, which I've covered on this channel extensively, but I actually now firmly believe she's the best anti-vehicle engineer as well. The only downside to this is if the vehicles you're chasing suddenly decide to reverse.
You've left the engagement. Turn around.
Such is the life of an engineer player. Okay, we're back onto parachute kills, and if you think about it, this is actually ridiculously appropriate for a Batman themed video because he spends a lot of time jumping out of aircraft. I still maintain, as I said 4 or 5 months ago, that dropping an AT mine on the moving target is one of the most difficult things to do in this game. As I was saying in the last video on this, the trick is to try and throw the AT mine in front of the vehicle that's moving so they drive onto it. But even 4 months later, that's easier said than done. I'm proud of this kill here because it was right place at the right time. This Mav was rolling in that was about to punish a bolt that was trying to spawn camp it and managed to pull off a very good parachute save on it. This guy owes me a beer.
Thank you. You don't have to thank me.
Yes, I do.
But yeah, spawning into an aircraft and immediately leaping out to get a vehicle kill is great fun and it really helps out your team, so go for it.
Oh, that fucking...
Just keep in mind if you wait and you land on top of the vehicle, you're flipping a coin as to whether you're going to make it off alive or not. Okay, so I got lucky that time. Let's flip the coin again and see if we get away with it.
We now control Delta sector.
What can I say, even Batman screws up from time to time, but in all seriousness, an observation. If you're jumping on a Tor, more often than not, even if you're late deploying the mines, you're going to get away with it, because they're just looking down their scopes. And so it is, my friends, that we come to the end, not just of this video, but of this Gotham journey with AT mine and smoke grenades. I have, at this point, pretty much exhausted my knowledge of the Batman movies. I have to admit, in terms of, like, trying to match some lines with the gameplay, etc., this was by far the most difficult video to make. Joker and Bane came much more naturally. I think just Batman's a little bit too brooding. He doesn't give you funny lines the way the other two did, so I did my best, and I sincerely hope you enjoyed it. So as I said in the introduction, I want to round up by showing you just a very, very small section of the ridiculously large fail library which I have relating to AT mines, which shall begin right after this final kill. Everybody, thank you for your support. I really appreciated it. Have a wonderful time. See you when I see you. Bye-bye.
Whenever you stitch yourself up, you do make a bloody mess.
Yeah, it makes me learn from my mistakes.
Well, you ought to be pretty knowledgeable by now, then.
Objectives no longer secure. Now control sector Delta.
Are you crazy? You are bleeding all over the place.
Yeah. I might be bleeding out, but it's okay. Because I'm Batman.
Beginning siege on Charlie 1.
Sector Alpha has been taken.
We are moving to attack Alpha 1.
In case you're wondering why I climbed on it, it's because I thought I might be able to hijack it.
We no longer control Alpha 1.
American troops have secured an objective. Control Alpha sector.
Lost control of one of our objectives.
They have control of Echo sector.
I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman.